An ancient parable is told about two frogs that fell into a jar of heavy cream. It was a long way from the top of the jar to where the frogs were. And they jumped and they jumped and they tried to leap out, but they couldn't get out. And they struggled and they stewed and they fretted and they tried everything. But they just couldn't get out. And finally, one of the frogs assumed that negative attitude, that defeated thought, that pessimism. I know I can't get out. Why try? I might as well die. I'm going to die anyway. I might as well get over it. And he resigned and he died and he fell to the bottom of the jar, dying of an inferiority complex. Now the other frog, he was tougher than that. In fact, he came from a long line of dauntless frogs, positive thinkers. Sure, I could die, but you know what? I'm going down with a fight. And so he went at it with all his vim and his vigor, and he beat that cream into butter and the butter into solid butter, and he jumped out. And the question today is, which frog are you? Great story by Norman Vincent Peale. You see, what held that first frog back was himself. Wasn't anything else. And what created the success in the second frog was himself. Nothing else. Jean-Dominique Bobby's memoir, The Diving Bell and the Butterfly, describes his life after a massive stroke left him with a condition called locked-in syndrome. Although he was almost completely paralyzed, Bobby was able to write his book by blinking his left eye, and an aide would recite a coded alphabet until Bobby blinked to choose the letter of the word that he was dictating. The book required about 200,000 blinks. Bobby used the only physical ability left him to communicate with others. Are there any of you out there who let simple, stupid, unnecessary stuff hold you back? Hold you from being all you can and doing all you really want? Come on. As Dr. Alan Zimmerman says, it's simply your attitude that determines your altitude. Laurie Beth Jones, the author of Jesus CEO, says, I bargained with life for a penny, only to learn dismayed that any wage I would have asked for, life would have paid. Wow. Are you bargaining with life for a penny? Are you holding back? Are you getting in your own way? In all I talk about today, the simple point I want you to understand is this: if you don't admit that you hold yourself back, you're never going to move forward. It's not society, it's not your boss, it's not money. It's not the economy, it's not your upbringing, it's not your family. It's you. Face it, deal with it, and watch what happens in your life. Just look at what people have done and accomplished who really did have an excuse. They might be justified. People such as Beethoven, whether you like his stuff or not, Beethoven was stone deaf. We all heard of the Hunchback of Notre Dame and know what happened to him, right? But did you know that Alexander the Great was a hunchback? And Edison. Now, I know most of you may not, you're younger people here, may not know what a phonograph is, but this thing that played records. And records were these plates, not CDs. But anyway, Edison developed that phonograph after he was deaf. And of course, deaf, dumb, and blind. Helen Keller did more in life than most of us will ever accomplish. Stop looking for a reason beyond yourself. The reason is you. once you accept it, you can do something about it. The reason most people can't do anything about it is they can't admit it themselves. They waste their lives, their resources, their abilities, their gifts, blaming someone else. And you know what? I make people mad. And at times, but I don't really care. You just need to know that. Because if what I tell you today changes your life and makes you a better person and puts you down that road, it's all worth it. And before we get totally started here, you also need to understand that I don't do politically correct. I do correct. So if what I tell you today offends you, get over it and learn from it. Singer Bob Dylan booed off the stage of his high school talent show. Michael Jordan, the greatest guy probably to play the game of basketball ever, didn't make the varsity high school team as a sophomore. And you know me, I'm not rich and famous yet, but I was that shy kid in the classroom all through school. A screw up. And yet today, I'm on the stage. So, remember, you're either pumped up by now and you're ready to listen and we're going to have a great day today, or you're angry. But either way, let's get rolling. Because the only thing holding you back is you. And my name is Manny Nowak, and let's do it.